The Save America Act has just cleared another major hurdle, and the final vote is coming. So can we get this thing passed? We'll see what Trump has to say about that. We'll see what Chuck Schumer and how they oppose it. And we'll also get into some other videos too. And is there a back door where this thing can actually get passed by reconciliation? We'll check into this next on Freedom Talk.
Turn it up loud. This is Freedom Talk.
The biggest thing coming up is the Save America Act in the Senate. That's voter ID and proof of citizenship and no mail-in ballots, corrupt mail-in ballots. We're the only country in the world that does it that way, corrupt as hell. And then we added 2 more. I think they're going to be adding a couple of more. One is no men and women sports. That seems like an easy one. I believe that's 99%. And no transgender mutilization of our children, none. That's only polling at 98%, Speaker. So hopefully the Senate is going to be able to get that. You can't ask for 5 better things. I think in terms of, it's not politics, it's really good for it, so good for our nation. I mean, who would not have voter ID? Who would not have proof of citizenship? And the only people who would want not to have that are people that want to cheat. It's very, very simple. We can't let that happen.
Yes, this is a big vote coming. And how great is that to have no transgender surgeries for our children? Can't believe we're doing it in the first place. But and then also no men and women's sports. That's a good thing to pass. Here's more of that. Caroline Levitt with Fox News on this same issue.
Well, Bill, I do think President Trump would reject the premise of your question that this bill is doomed to fail. He's fighting every day to get the votes needed to pass this country-saving legislation, the Save America Act, which has some of the most common sense proposals ever proposed by either party on Capitol Hill. Voter ID, who could be against it? 90% of Americans support it. No mail-in ballots, which we know create a tremendous amount of fraud in our electoral system, with common sense exceptions, of course, for those in our military and others. No more transgender mutilation surgeries for young minor children. Again, a 90% issue supported by the American people. No men in women's sports, and proof of citizenship to vote. These are common sense proposals that the President of the United States supports because he knows the vast majority of the people in this country support. And every senator on Capitol Hill, both Republican and Democrat, frankly, would be wise to vote for this legislation because it's in the best interest of their constituents and our country to do so. We're working with the Senate on this daily, and the President is a fighter. As you know, he's not going to give up the fight on this one.
And here's Senator Thune, Majority Senator Thune, who's talking about this Save Act, and I don't know, he seems to me he's kind of wishy-washy, and he doesn't have as much get up and go, let's get this thing done type deal. I don't know. Let's play this clip, and then why don't you tell me what you think?
That means 60 votes. You don't have 60 votes. Why go through this? Is this basically just a show?
Well, I mean, we don't know that we don't have 60 votes yet. You're making an assumption.
Multiple members of your conference say that there aren't even 51 votes.
Yeah, well, and you're making an assumption that at the end of this debate that none of the Democrats will be won over. And I'm not saying that I appreciate your skepticism, but I think it's an important debate to have because it is an issue that is at the very core of elections in this country. And I think this is something that the American people care about, something that we've obviously heard a lot about from constituents across this country, and I think it's an important debate to have. So how it ends remains to be seen. There will be a point at which it will end, and there will be a series of votes that come with that. And but I'm at the end of the day, I just don't know how you defend a position that you need to be a citizen in this country, not only to register to vote, but also to be able to show an ID when you vote. And we'll see how long the Democrats want to defend that position, and maybe none of them will be won over at the end. That's entirely possible. But I think the having the fight, having the debate on the floor of the Senate is important.
I don't know. He just seems like he's just kind of moving this thing along very slowly. If we get 60 votes, okay. If not, then okay. I did what I could. I don't know. It just seems like he could do more. John Kennedy, he did have a solution for this, and this is how we got the big, beautiful bill passes through reconciliation. And probably have to kind of restructure this thing a little bit, in order to get that passed. But if we do that, then all we need is a 51 vote instead of a 60 vote. And then, yeah, that will work. So let's hear what John Kennedy has to say.
Serious about passing. And I think we are, Mr. President. I know you are. We need to try to pass this legislation through reconciliation. Now, you know how reconciliation works, Mr. President. It means we can pass this bill with 50 Republican votes and the vice president to break the tie. That's how we pass the one big, beautiful bill. I would hope to get some of my Democratic friends to support us, but we don't have to have them. That's harder than I described because, as you know, Mr. President, there are parameters on reconciliation. Anything you propose through reconciliation has to be paid for. We can find the money to pay for it. And anything you pass through reconciliation has to conform with the contours of the Budget Control Act. We call that giving a provision a bird bath.
Yes, if we can get it through reconciliation, then that'll be an awesome tool to get that thing passed. Like we did the big, beautiful bill, we did that. But it also, in order to do that, it's must include like spending, revenue, debt. So they would have to kind of amend that, tweak it out a little bit. I guess that's what John Kennedy meant by giving it a bird bath, clean it up a little bit. But the Democrats aren't on this thing, and this is 80% American people want voter ID. So why is that? Let's see what Chucky has to say.
The core of the bill is handing the voter rolls over to DHS, putting them through an algorithm designed by Moj and Musk that supposedly knocks out illegal immigrants from voting. But the evidence is almost no illegal immigrants vote.
So do you believe that? No, barely any illegal immigrants vote. So if that is the case, then why is it so hard to just say yes to it? Huh? How come, Chuck? How come you won't say yes to the bill since there's no illegal, there's no funny business going on? So let's get this Save America Act passed. And there's more Democrats that had something to say, but this person says the quiet part out loud. I want you to listen closely to this, especially at the end.
That is not the House of it. Just consider all the people who will face new challenges just to vote for no good reason. If you are a student who just moved to start college, Republicans will make it harder for you to vote. Because if this bill passes, you will need to show a photo ID and proof of citizenship in every single state. But a student ID won't count. Many tribal IDs also won't be enough under the new Republican restrictions.
So let me ask you a question. Okay, if let's say you're a student in the United States and you go to college and you have school ID, don't you have ID anyway? You drive a car, you're probably driving around, going to college and stuff like that. So what's the big issue? Oh, maybe it's the foreign students that are coming over from different countries that don't have ID, but they can get ID, and if they're citizens, then they'll be legal to vote. It seems, really simple. So they need the foreign vote. Basically, what it's all coming down to, they need foreign votes in order to win elections, and that's their way to cheat. I'll say it. That's their way to cheat. They've done it before. They're good at it, and they kind of hide it pretty good. But some other things are coming out on that. So the Save America Act, what do you think? I think we need to get this thing done, and we need to get it done, put some legs on it, make it law. And the sooner we do it, the better. And it's just going to help us down in November and for years to come to just have some basic, fundamental, simple, common sense legislation, just so we know that there's no cheating going on in the future. So let's keep our elections safe and fair. And one more thing I would like to point out too. This is Lisa Murkowski, and she was the only no vote on moving to advance the Save America Act, and was a test vote. So this is her, Lisa Murkowski, and this is the telephone number right there. And make sure you give her a call and tell her what you think. So that's what I got for you today. The new subscribers, I want to thank you for subscribing. And if you like this video, make sure you hit a like and subscribe, and so you won't miss a beat on any new content coming your way. I am a new channel. I'm working on getting things right. Got a new camera and everything. So we're just working out the bugs a little bit, kind of getting used to the how to do things. But it's kind of exciting too to have new subscribers and to kind of grow together. And it's kind of like a family. One of my favorite creators out there, Doug in Exile, I started with him way back when he first started too. Now he has a big following, and check out his content if you get an opportunity. He's a good guy. He thinks right, and he believes in God and prays and stuff. So anyways, remember to keep this bill in prayer and keep America in prayer, and I'll keep you in prayer. Until we see you next time, let's save America, and by passing the Save America Act. And make sure you check out this video next, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Turn it up loud. This is Freedom Talk.